Hey, dental speakers and consultants. Vanessa Emerson here, founder of Dental Speaker Institute and the Dental Speaker. Recently, we were having a DSI, Dental Speaker Institute annual meeting, and it reminded me about the importance of building strong relationships. I'm reminded of a proverb you probably have heard before. I think it's like an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. Or if you want to go far, go together. And I think that really relates to us building strong relationships in our business life. And so I suggest a really wonderful book, How to Be a Power Connector. The author is Judy Robinett, How to Be a Power Connector. And you can get it on Amazon or Audible. It's awesome. Really, it's my favorite networking book. And in that, she suggests she has many strategies that she suggests for you, but some of what I'm going to share with you today came from those reminders in her book. And beyond that, I think many of us recognize that success in business, as well as in our life, is found in our connections and our relationships. And ultimately, for business, our social network provides the opportunity for us to work with others to accomplish together what would be difficult or impossible for us to accomplish alone. So the key is for us as entrepreneurs to find, create, and nurture high-value strategic relationships that can help us gain access to inner circles of influence. Find and create and nurture high-value strategic high-value strategic relationships that can help us gain access to inner circles of influence. So how do we do that? Well, let's look at some ideas for expanding your network. Ultimately, one of the best ways to build your network is to put yourself in places where you can get to know people personally and figure out how to help them before you ask them for something. So I can't do this with my voice, but I would say bold, underline, highlight, use a different color on that. Figure out how you can help them before you ask them for something. Think about our potential sponsoring partners. How can we help them before we ask them for something? Potential, planners we might work with. How can we help them before we ask them for something? So that's a really important key of this. Now, in addition, I would encourage you to think about reaching outside of your comfort zone. Our good connections are not always right where we think we're going to find them. And I found that often they're in unexpected places. And you might be surprised at how much you have in common with someone who perhaps maybe you don't always agree with what they say on social media, that sort of thing, but there's still value in exploring all relationships and see where there might be some potential opportunities for both of you. Also, another point would be to connect personally with people. So one of the best ways to build strong relationships is to ask other professionals about their lives, nothing to do with work. Ask about their families, their hobbies, their vacations, their causes, that sort of a thing. And in doing so, you're going to find that you have common areas of interest. This helps your relationship blossom, and it will help you grow a whole new network of people with whom you have a similar interest, which is really fun. So in other words, be other focused. So asking them about what's of interest to them. We know from different studies, and we've heard this along the line, that people always enjoy talking about themselves. So utilize that as a way to get to know others, engage them, and be other focused. The third tip is to help connect people with solutions and with each other. This goes back to where I started, saying always look for a way to give to them before you ask. Always, 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 always be thinking about how can I connect to people here? How can I, as I'm talking to this person and getting to know them, do I think of, oh, I should introduce them to this meeting planner, or, oh, I have a client that would be interested in that service. It's not something that I offer. Always be keeping an eye on, you're listening to the conversation, but you're also keeping an eye and mentally on, is there a way that I could bring value to this individual? Is there a way that I could help them before I ask them to help me? When we do this, ultimately by connecting them with a solution that they need, ultimately, most people will do the same for you. They'll feel like, oh, that was so amazing what you did for me. How can I help you? And by utilizing these really servant-minded, heart-centered techniques, it's not self-serving, it's serving others. It ends up serving you. It ends up being something that can help your network become really wide and deep, and your influence and your impact will explode. A side note, a great place to connect with people that meets all of these criteria would be conferences. So for instance, Weevolution, we have Weevolution coming up in May. Here comes the shameless plug I had not expected to give, but I'm going to give it. May 5th and 6th in Phoenix. Weevolution is an annual conference. We'll have 150 attendees there this year, largely speakers and consultants. A few of those will be sponsoring partners. And we love spending time with our sponsoring partners as well, because they bring great value to our life and we can bring value to their worlds as well. So somewhere where you might want to meet and network and collaborate would be Dental Speaker Institute's Weevolution. You can find out more about that at dentalspeakerinstitute.com. Here's your takeaway from today. If I was to encapsulate this in one little takeaway, I want to share with you, and this goes back to our gal Judy. I need to write to her because I recommend this all the time. I recommended this book earlier in a workshop I'm doing today, even all the time. Judy, in her How to Be a Power Connector, shares the 3 golden questions. So write these down. The first one is, let me tell you, let me do this better. Basically, anytime you have a conversation with someone that you are networking with, maybe you just met them, maybe it's a colleague you've known for years, but before you leave that conversation, you want to be sure that you have asked, number 1, how can I help you? How can I help you? Is there anything I can do to help you? It gives you an opportunity to provide value immediately with a suggestion or a referral or an opportunity. And the person you're talking with is going to feel like, wow, that was cool. The second of these golden questions, number 1 is, how can I help you? The second would be, what ideas do you have for me? Sally, I wonder, do you have any ideas for me on how I might put together this group coaching session? I know you have some experience around this. What ideas do you have for me? This gives the person that you're talking with an opportunity to immediately add value as well. And then number 3, so we have, how can I help you? What ideas do you have for me? Number 3, who do you know that I should talk to? Do you know anyone that I should talk to? Can you think of someone that I might be able to get this answer from? Who do you know that I should talk to? The person that you need to know may very well be in this individual's network. And the only way to find out is with this question. Who do you know that I should talk to? I encourage you to write these down, put them on a sticky beside your computer, or like on my computer, I use little sticky notes that are on my desktop that are like a digital sticky note. And I have these 3 golden questions right there on my desktop at all times. So for every conversation, it reminds me to go back to asking the 3 golden questions. Now, if there's one thing you take from our time together today, I would hope that it would be this one thing. I think that encapsulates it all. Be someone who genuinely cares for and wants to help others. Be a servant. Approach networking, approach business with a servant's heart, with a heart-centered approach. Someone who genuinely cares for and wants to help others. It's not about what we're going to get out of it. It's how can I help others? How can I help others achieve their goals and get what they want? Because ultimately, this is how we build those strong, high-level strategic relationships. And it is those relationships that will make our business and ultimately our life truly abundant, fulfilled, and successful. I hope this has been helpful. I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me an email, info@thedentalspeaker.com, info@thedentalspeaker.com if we can help you in any way. Until next time, be well, have a fabulous month, and we'll see you soon.